All right, hey, we're gonna do a breakdown video of this bull elk. This is Dave and Doby. They've been guiding for over 20 years. They've broken down hundreds of elk, so there's probably no one better to teach us. So they're gonna do a quick video, show us how they'd break this bull down to pack it out of the backcountry.
Yeah, so a lot of times, if we're going to be packing it out, I mean, there's multiple ways to go about breaking down an animal. Everybody has their way, but 25 years of guiding for Doby, 17 for me. And hundreds of animals, we've found what's really efficient for us. And so typically when I get to an animal, we're going to do the gutless method on this one. I typically start at the back of the head and I zipper it all the way to the tail. That way we split the midline, or the down the center of the spine. Then we'll come across the midline just like we're going to be doing a shoulder mount. So we'll start on that. We got that under there so it just keeps him propped up a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay. Easier to get off if you go right up the back of this tendon and it just peels off the side.
Okay, Doby, you can meet me right there. And what I like to do is, some people they may cape it up a little bit too far. I like giving the taxidermist a little bit more to work with. And so I come back a little bit farther, closer to the back end. It is a little bit more weight to carry out, but if somebody does maybe a pedestal mount and they wrap the cape around a little bit, it just gives the taxidermist a little bit more to cut away. You can't always add two. And what's also smart to do is when you're, some people put their knife right into the hide like this and rip around, but all you're doing, I mean, there's so much dirt from wallowing. I mean, all animals, you get dirt in their hair, you're just dulling your blades. So come in underneath and just work it around like that. So you're coming up through the hair and not digging down into the dirt. Right down the hairline. Tuck into the armpit. And I like to come over kind of in a Y instead of right down through the real short hairs. Then I'll meet up with the center cut there.
Oh, just peeling this. Just trying to peel it all back. He's got a lot of mud on his hide. I'm just trying to keep it off the meat. But just peel it all the way back and then work on the under. Then you can take that quarter right off. Just trying to keep the meat as clean as you can. The hair off of it, so you want to fold it that way, away from the meat.
And I don't mind leaving meat on there. I don't typically try to get all that off of there because the taxidermist needs to feed his kids.
Yeah, there's certain things I just can't hack. And I'll probably just peel all this hide off. You don't have to, but we might as well do it. We got time. Meat's in good shape. So.
Yeah.
One good thing about getting all this hide away is when you pull that back strap out, it's totally away from any hair or anything. You can take it off clean as can be, so they don't have to cut a bunch of it off. This back.
Joe, you want me to lift that leg up?
In a minute. Let me get it out from around this tendon.
Okay.
And then when we'll have to just pry it over, and we'll be ready to take that hind off.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys want something
You
lifted.
don't mind lifting that leg straight up? Thank you. Ooh, that goiter, I want to stay away from that. Yeah, I don't know what that is right there. Taxidermists can cut away that extra skin.
These kids, I thought.
Yeah, not that thing. Not sure quite what that is.
And these legs, you do not need a saw for these legs. A lot of people carry a saw with them. If you hit that joint, it's not this joint, there's one under it. You know, their big joint. You don't ever want to cut this because you can cut this tendon that you need. There's a joint under it that you hit like that. Breaks right off, just like that. It's easy. If you know where to cut.
Just pull his leg back out. I just wanted to bend it for a second. But I like to get right up to the brisket. I'm gonna come along here. I like coming at an angle like this so that I can keep some of that
Hold it up while I'm cutting.
right along the ribs there, back to the back of the shoulder blade.
Yeah. Can you roll
Okay,
that
go ahead and
baby
lift
on
that
just like
baby up.
Oh, he's about ready
Yeah,
to.
let's do this.
So let's do the
See,
front first.
keep that back, so right back. So.
And I got it. The thing that's weird, they come with four. I mean, obviously they're quarterbacks, but they should have.
Yeah, you look for all the
Yes.
others.
Why don't you start that? Hoyt game bags or something.
I
Throw 5 in. I'll buy them.
You want to come over here and just grab that leg real quick? Oh, I think I got it now.
need 100 sets right away.
Yes. We'll use them.
Dave, you're just pulling and peeling.
Just pulling and peeling without cutting into the back strap. Yeah.
I always see a lot of people keeping those legs on, and there's absolutely no reason to keep the leg on. It's just more hair to get on the meat, you know, and it's more weight.
There you go.
You sure?
Yep.
You want to do that first?
Yeah, it's ready.
Okay.
You can get the hind off, and then
Okay, go ahead.
we can get that back strap.
Yeah.
I just gotta get Jeremy to, or you, or no, or whoever, just to pull that. I just gotta get a little more hide out of here. Ball joint right there. You just kind of follow, you can find that bone, you just follow it.
Let me give you the front half, buddy.
Thank you. This part you want to be careful with. You don't want to hit that.
That's the sound of maybe
That happened to
When
me
Doby-
last year. In the
Yeah,
dark.
That's the sound when he just did a pinprick, and it was more like a fire hydrant. You know, you pipe
Blew
it
in
down.
my face. Like nasty stuff. You guys always playing jokes. There's a hind.
There you go. Grab that. Lay it on something green.
You get over.
And Dirty is the master of the back strap. He leaves none. He gets
So you
it
got this
all.
rubber band here. All the ungulates have this rubber band to keep hold their head up, and so I like to come under that, say right along the spine. But what I also want to do, so I like taking this outer layer off. It's because it gives me something to peek at here, right along the ribs.
Yeah, if you cut that fat off, you can see the line. You can see the whole thing. You can just cut along that line and
And all the way back where Doby was, you got this hip bone that comes across, and it'll cut down at a diagonal, right back here. So I find that hip bone, put my knife at an angle, come around it, right there. I like to come right down the ribs a little bit.
little weight.
Just keep working your way in.
I've seen moose.
Big head.
Yeah, big.
Moose are they're so such a long body anyway.
Yeah.
Their back straps are.
You guys see these? I'll take this one.
Set 2 last night.
Bulls or cows?
Cow calf.
One by camp.
Nope.
Flies are
One on the cutoff road, county calf.
Uh-huh.
Big old county calf.
Really?
And then up on the salt, up the road a little ways, they're laying on the salt. The cow salt. Oh,
Yeah, nice you guys using.
Avalon.
So right over, you can see that I can almost
so
pull,
many of them.
pull it away if I find where it's
Suck it sharp.
where the insertion is.
So these are just worth their weight in gold. You got to be careful though, because they are sharp. Like,
Under safety system, whatever, you guys, they started making them too like that.
oh, did they? Replaceable? Yeah.
I'm gonna come right down the neck, Dobe, and leave it all as one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
I was just gonna grab that.
Follow along the ribs, on the rib cage there. Toby, can I give this to you?
Of course.
So you can see there was not much left as that back strap comes right into that hip there.
I think that broadhead made it through to there. It just didn't go through the shoulder. I guess that's probably a little further back like that. It's bubble in there.
Something went through there though. Was he on an angle at all?
Pretty broad, so pretty clear. Yeah, when he fell.
Could have hit a rib and
Yeah, could be.
yeah. I would say the broadhead poked through there at some point. Come on, give us a buddy.
Is it easier to start rolling this on now, or just wait till it's all off?
No, it's yeah. We'll get it all off, and we'll just set the neck meat in first and just roll it right in.
Neck bones.
Yeah, the neck's the worst on the bones. You know, cut around.
Yeah, you just gotta follow them around.
There's back strap and the neck all in one. Comes off clean, and then you can roll it up instead of having a bunch of different pieces. That's a heck of a
Pretty big chunk of meat there. A lot of steaks.
All right, now we're just gonna flip it over, rinse and repeat. Same thing. Come do our center cut in the midline. Both of us are gonna come up the legs and we'll be done here about 20 minutes.
Do you want to do the attendees last?
Yeah, I'll do those
Okay.
last. So I like to get the cape up right to the base of the ears. So I know when I come around the jaw, it's good. Bend the head forward. And this is a part that a lot of people have a hard time with. Find the back of the skull.
Yeah, it's fine. This is just fat.
Come right down here, break it away a little bit.
Is that
When the meat gets that color,
was this from school?
then you leave them. But the meat's good. Like to
Kinda
feel
get
it,
some of
it's-
this-
It's cool.
Some of the neck is pulling up on it. I try to take it as close to the back of the brain right here, back of the skull here, peel in till that meat reveals the spine. You can see now that it's completely open. I don't have meat in the way to be able to get in my view. I can just move it back and forth, peel around there, brainstem, angle your knife in. Work it back and forth, and you can see, if you look here, some people are trying to cut straight down and they're not getting through it, but the way the upper part of the spine, and I'm not a scientist, sits in here, the back of the skull, it's able to rotate in these cups, but unless you pull it away, you're just going to be cutting through, trying to maneuver your way through. Simple and easy. And then just work right.
Off with his head.
Clean. Okay, so a lot of times with the gutless method, people have a hard time getting into the loins. He does have a little bit of pressure, quite a bit of pressure in his cavity. Sometimes to keep it clean, I'll just come in and slice the belly and just kind of release it, which pulls it away. But I'm going to try to get it out of there right now, even with the pressure, just so you can see how what this all looks like. So I like to give myself kind of a clean slate. So you got these last floating ribs right along here, and I come find the last big rib, which comes down here. So you got all these floating ribs right here, and the tenderloin actually comes right underneath this hip. That's where one of the insertions is. Comes right down through here. So I make my cut around there so I can eventually get into there. And I just take my knife and I just cut these little tendons or whatever they are right along the ribs on this side. And he does have a lot of blood in this cavity because of how he was shot. Drive my knuckles in. And you can see that tender's just sitting right here, right against the gut cavity right there. Use my knuckles to pull that down. Get this out of the way. You can see right here, this is where it sits, right along there. So I'm just going to take my knife and lightly just cut away where it's attached to the ribs. Right underneath. You can kind of work you see this tendon right here? Or whatever this piece of banding is, that banding runs all along to hold this cavity in. So you just want to pop that off of there. Here's another one, kind of gets in the way. And there. You can see as I start to push the gut back, we got a beautiful tender sitting right there. So I'm going to keep working my knife right up under the ribs. And you can go all the way in to where you're hitting the bottom part of the spine that jets down. And it'll just start to find its way, just a little cut at a time. And you don't want to pull the tenderloin so much because it's such a tender piece of meat, and it's a tenderloin, and you just start to shred it. Make a little bit more room by pressing down. Yeah, if you don't mind just pushing down in there. You can see the tender is actually a lot longer than people pull it out. Beautiful tender, it's not torn, and you've gone all the way to the end where it attaches back behind the hip.